We express our sincerest apologies to our passengers for the disruptions and assure you that we are committed to resolving these challenges. We value the trust and confidence of our passengers and are committed to providing safe, affordable, and reliable flights. Naiintindihan namin na responsibilidad pa rin namin ito bilang serbisyo publiko. We agree with the committee's goals on providing solutions and servicing our customers properly, as we have heard earlier. To enhance our operations and assist affected customers, we have implemented measures such as activating a disruption management team, increasing live chat agents, and improving policies and processes for disruption handling and communication. We acknowledge that these actions may still be insufficient for affected passengers, and we are actively managing the situation and assessing how we can provide better care during this recovery period. We see today's hearing as also as the proper forum to provide this august body and the general public a broad view of the challenges that the global aviation industry is facing at this junction, and which directly impact the operations of Cebu Pacific as well as other carriers worldwide. It must also be said that coming into 2023, Cebu Pacific was very optimistic about the ability to fully restore services to its customers in order to support our country's post-pandemic recovery. In January 2023, after finalizing the investments in new planes as well as operational upgrades, we embarked on a recovery program starting with the arrival of the new Airbus NEOs. In fact, first quarter showed a credible performance or credible on-time performance as OTP had improved month on month. However, as early as March, we began to feel the industry challenges and its effects from April onwards. This is when the engine and supply chain issues in the global aviation industry changed the dynamics altogether. Specifically, the global aviation industry has been impacted by Pratt & Whitney engine issues, which power the Airbus A321 and A320neo. The Pratt & Whitney engines are experiencing premature removal from service, and each engine restoration requires 220 days instead of the industry norm of 90 days. This premature servicing can be likened to a car's preventive maintenance, where the vehicle is brought in for inspection at 3,000 kilometers instead of the expected 5,000 kilometers. Additionally, the vehicle is not in the shop for 1 day, but for 1 month. More than 120 aircraft throughout the world are grounded because of this issue. Cebu Pacific this year already encountered 12 unscheduled engine removals, and we had to ground 3 Airbus A321 and A320neos indefinitely since the middle of March. In fact, an Indian airline called Go First went bankrupt last May 2023, blaming Pratt & Whitney for failing to provide the necessary engines, leading to a substantial portion of their fleet being grounded. Apart from the Pratt & Whitney engine issues, we have also encountered delays from Airbus, our aircraft manufacturer. We recognize that global supply chain issues are further worsening the situation and causing additional delays in aircraft deliveries. As a result, we have experienced delays ranging from anywhere between 2 to 5 months, whereas pre-COVID, these aircraft would normally arrive on time and ahead of schedule. These delivery delays necessitate changes to our flight schedules, including flight cancellations and equipment changes from larger to smaller aircraft, which may cause some passengers to be disrupted and cause the perception of overbooking. Rather than canceling the flight, the use of smaller aircraft allow us to still bring as many customers as possible to their destination and lessen the number of disrupted passengers. Last but not least, supply chain issues have become increasingly prominent, leading to extended recovery periods for aircraft on ground, or ang tinatawag namin sa industriya, AOG. These AOGs refer to aircraft that are grounded, requiring additional time for restoration. These aircraft must remain grounded until they are deemed airworthy and compliant with safety standards. All of these events impact the number of aircraft available to fly our planned schedule. So global infrastructure challenges have heightened the probability of aircraft damage, resulting in longer AOG periods and logistical difficulties in recovering aircraft. At the same time, SEB unfortunately experienced a number of incidents rapidly and in such a short span of time, such as the ground damage from runway debris when we were taking off from an airport, damage caused by unexpected severe weather events, where air stairs had all of a sudden there was a sudden gust of winds. Air stairs had flown into two of our aircraft, one of which was cleared to fly that same evening, but the other one sustained extensive damage which would require 3 months worth of repair. Bird strikes, where both engines were hit as well as the main landing gear. Aircraft damaged by a burst tire upon landing. And lastly, damage from a towing incident by our contracted maintenance provider. So all of these incidents require complex repairs and take longer to recover, especially with the current supply chain constraints. These sudden and unprecedented operational challenges and fleet availability issues led to the sudden and sharp grounding of up to 17% of our fleet since April. So this is a very rapid and sharp decline in our fleet. Normally in the past, we would normally have 2 to 3 or 3 standby aircraft, and that would normally cover all of the operational difficulties or challenges that we may have. But in this case, napakabilis, napakabigla. Further, some red lighting alerts have also become more prevalent and are longer in duration this year. I think we've had around 78 red lighting alerts from April to June, which affected around 535 flights. Some red lighting alerts do take up to 2.5 to 3 hours, which require, for safety purposes, the full stoppage of operations and could affect flights that are flying to airports that can only operate before sunset and could eventually lead to cancellations. These are the realities that frame Cebu Pacific's current operations, and we are taking all possible steps to address the issues that are global in impact, such as number one, we have already reduced our flight schedules until the third quarter. Number two, acquiring additional aircraft for greater resilience. We are increasing our spare coverage from 3 to 4 starting this June and up to 6 by the end of the year. And we will also enhance our customer care and recovery policy in order to make sure we are able to communicate to guests the right information and to give them the right options. We are always guided by the Air Passenger Bill of Rights and have adhered to the prescribed policies and rules, especially on matters that affect our customers and our passengers. We remain committed to our mission of providing safe, reliable, and affordable air transportation and look forward to constructive discussions and feedback from this honorable committee. Thank you once again for the opportunity to speak here today.